Cheaper to keeper. This is a statement that would keep men in a marriage hoping that it could work out in place of losing everything that they have in the divorce courts. I argue, however, that this is simply a dollar auction game. Dollar auction game being made shortly after the creation of the Rand Institute. This was simply an auction for $1, whereas the second highest bidder had to also pay the amount that they bid and get nothing in return. This would lead to a circumstance of which if one person had bid, let's say 90 cents, and the next 99 cents, it would be in the best interest of the second highest bidder to bid over $1 in order to not lose 90 cents, but only 1 penny. Then, of course, the dollar bidder would have to bid higher than that to not lose $1, but only a few cents. This process would repeat until people could get up to any amount of money, losing much more than what they had hoped to gain in the beginning. Looking at marriage through the lens of the dollar auction game, we could ask if it really is cheaper to keeper, or if you are simply trapped in a situation in which you have a negative outcome either way that you go about it. So one would have to look at various aspects such as lost opportunity, the continued payout, and potentially if this continued payout will end up with the same outcome as an immediate divorce. Now, I would not encourage every individual to just immediately go out and serve up the divorce papers. I would, however, like to encourage individuals that are currently married not to simply fall prey to the idea of cheaper to keeper, but to think critically about the situation and what possible aspects you could gain by doing so. If potentially your lost opportunity outweighs the amount of payout that you're doing to keep her around, and you do believe that the divorce is essentially inevitable, you might be apt to consider that option. I would think that an important aspect in discussing this line of thought is how we could help people minimize the amount of loss during a divorce. We have seen in recent times matrimony occurring whenever the man has made less than his counterpart. So one suggestion could be to quit a current high-paying job in order to take a lower-paying job for approximately a year, such that your tax returns would reflect a new income level, so that you might not have to pay out alimony at all, or if so, a far smaller amount. Also, a house is an asset in which cannot be split, so if you were to own a house, I personally would suggest liquidating that asset. You could split the $300,000 value of it as opposed to the physical asset. I would hope at least that in the manosphere a new context of discussion occurs in which we attempt to solve the issues of the marriage court and how a man might be able to get out of it with every reduced cost possible. I do believe it is within the capacity of this community to figure out a way to game this system at least somewhat effectively. Please realize, life's a game. Play it.